Now that's handsome, and that's heavy.
Right,
How about
Folks, it smells as good as it looks.
So help me if I drop this, Chef.
Oh, I would be very
Would you be mad at me?
Some people may just eat it off the ground. Who knows, man? I mean, there ain't nothing wrong
I
with
wouldn't
that.
put it beyond Mike
Anything
Prangley.
goes out here, huh?
This is great stuff. Now, tell us about the seafood. You did it from the land and the sea. A little surf and turf this morning.
So we have a little shrimp here that we put on in a pan on the grill. We took a little guacamole salsa, so it's basically a salsa verde mixed with avocado. We're just gonna warm it up just so we have a little variety, right? A little surf and turf in the morning.
Take a look at this. Chef Tony, you've outdone yourself. Let's come in on this and say goodbye as we go to break. A fantastic surf and turf, big, thick New York strip for your Georgia, Florida party. We're right back with more coverage from RV City right after this.
Live from the studios of NBC 12 and ABC 25, this is Good Morning Jacksonville at 6.
Should not be a lot of blame game. I think we each need to look at ourselves and see what we can do. I'm not making excuses. It's just, it was bad.
Jags coach Gus Bradley, they were talking about the game last night. We're following two big stories this morning. The Jags' future is in question after another embarrassing loss. Plus, we're just 24 hours away from the big Georgia-Florida game. Lewis, Keith, and Mike and Katie are all out in RV City this morning. A very good morning to you guys.
Good morning, Lindsay. We're out here, as you mentioned, in RV City in downtown Jax. You know what? I had a Bulldogs fan next to me, so I had to break out the hat just to make it clear it's all about the Gators. Anyway, we want to welcome you guys here to Good Morning Jacksonville on this Friday morning.
I'm trying to stay out of the middle of all this.
This is the only time that Keith and I disagree, though.
Oh,
is that right?
There
the only
we go.
time.
The Georgia-Florida thing?
Yes.
We need the palate cleanser. We need to get the taste of the Jags out of our mouth, but we're going to talk a lot about it. But
Yes.
Georgia-Florida can certainly do that. We know that just has a way of making things so much better, depending on what side you come out on Saturday afternoon as well. But let's begin Good Morning Jacksonville like we always do. We still have a Friday to get through.
Yeah.
We do have to get to work and to school before we start all the partying. Let's check in with Mike Prangley somewhere in RV City this morning with our forecast. Hello, Mike.
Hey, good to see you. I've got my gator pose going here, and pet-friendly Friday at RV City doesn't get any better. I've been roaming around, but everybody's still sleeping. I don't want to wake anybody up, but here's my pet gator here. So it's going to be a great game. Got the gators and the dogs, and let's get around. We'll roam a little bit more, but something's changed out here. Notice how calm it is. We don't have much of a breeze. That's a good sign for our weekend forecast. Looks like that nor'easter is relaxing. We've got high pressure building in, and it's going to be a nice warm Friday. Temperatures low to mid 80s. Just be careful, a little fog to start. And then for the game, 85 degrees at kickoff, our warmest game since 2009. Looking great, but don't forget the sunscreen, UV index in the high range. And as we roam here, we're going to find some more gators and dogs. And before long, it's hard to believe this place will be hopping soon. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun out here. But let's get you to work in school safely. First with Katie Jeffries, your ViStar Credit Union traffic report.
All right, so you got to be able to get to the game. We're going to talk about that coming up a little bit later on. But hey, looks nice so far this morning. Let's take a look outside. This is 295 near San Jose. There was an accident in that area earlier this morning, but I'm not seeing any issues there now, which is pretty good. So let's talk about maybe you're driving in from the beaches. Beaches look pretty nice at this point. Atlantic Beach, JTB. We had a crash at JTB near Hodges overnight, but not to worry about that anymore. It's not blocking any lanes. Moving over towards Clay County, watching US 17 and Blanding, and those both look nice. 95 northbound coming out of St. Johns County. Not seeing any problems for you guys there either.
All right, we're back with Chris Porter now. Let's talk about the Jags. Let's wrap it up just a little bit. Hey, a man still has his job. Yes. I never want a man to lose his job.
And
apparently,
he's not going to lose his job because
right.
You would think after last night's embarrassing loss that the Jaguars really may have made the move before they even got back to Jacksonville bright and early this morning. Let me say this, folks. The schedule is not going to get any easier for our Jacksonville Jaguars. We've got the likes of Kansas City. We've got Denver. We've got Minnesota. Just a few of the tough teams that we still have left on this schedule. And the other thing is that there's not going to be much or if any changes to this roster. The bottom line is, folks, that we have a tendency to make decent quarterbacks, good running backs, look great. Here's some video from last night of that Tennessee Titans game. We knew DeMarco Murray coming in. He was leading the NFL in rushing. We knew that Yuli's own Derrick Henry, he was a great 1-2 punch. They make a great 1-2 punch. But we cannot pick up the likes of Malik Jackson and Tashawn Gibson and those folks and still look worse than what we did last year. And our running game, oh man, if someone could find a way to wake up Chris Ivory, TJ Yeldon get that thing going. It would help their quarterback, Blake Bortles. We combined to rush for 48 yards. That's not good enough. And then let's talk about our quarterback, Blake Bortles. Blake, we all thought that this would be his year where he takes that next step, possibly, be a Pro Bowl after putting up those great fantasy numbers last year. It has just not happened. His mechanics are all over the place, and his confidence appears to be shot. And then finally, Gus Bradley, the head coach, 14-41 now. I don't know how many games he's going to have to lose. I'm not calling for his job, but here's a fact. He is only one of 2 NFL coaches that have coached a minimum of 50 games and have a record this poor. So we'll just have to wait and see what's going to go down with that. Now let's talk about the big special that we have coming up for you tonight. Let's talk a little Georgia, Florida, the big game going down Saturday at 3:30 over at Everbank Field. The First Coast Sports team, we've been working so hard. We've got some great stories. A house divided. It's not just an anchor set divided, but a house divided. Imagine being married to someone who's a Gator and you're a dog.
How does
and
that
then you got
happen?
kids involved in it. Also, we've got plenty of your hashtag team sideline photos. So the Georgia-Florida Border War show is going to be GOOD good, and we hope all of you guys tune in. And Lou, you
Can I show you something really quickly, Chris? Is that okay for you?
Lindsay, let's go inside to the news headlines of the day. Keitha, we got to work on her a bit here.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Now to your top stories this morning. Donald Trump's running mate, Mike Pence, is safe after his plane skidded off a runway last night. The scary incident happened at LaGuardia Airport in New York. Officials say the pilot overshot the runway and was forced to slam on his brakes. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Pence will be back on the campaign trail later today. Your second big story, a local man running for office is recovering after he got into a brawl at the polls. Merrill Rowland, a candidate for the Anastasia Mosquito Commission, claims that a worker for the St. Johns County Republican Party spit in his face, punched him, and knocked over his cane. So far, no charges have been filed. The case is still under investigation. And who will take the lead tonight? Game 3 of the World Series as the Cleveland Indians travel to Chicago Cubs territory at Wrigley Field, the friendly confines. Right now, the series is tied at 1-1. Game time, 8:08. I'm just saying, we've got 3 home games here coming up, so hopefully, in my opinion, the Cubs can beat the Indians. I know we do have a lot of Cleveland fans here as well. Still ahead on Good Morning Jacksonville, we're back out live in RV City and we're grilling up some delicious food. Chef Tony shows us some great techniques for your Georgia-Florida tailgate. We're back in just 2 minutes.
Got divided families on both sides.
The game's big and the party's bigger.
All right, good morning, everybody. We're talking about a great Friday. Just be careful, a little fog. Our paper's a little sweaty here, so there's a lot of condensation going on this morning, but it's all going to be good. Fog will lift by 9 a.m. for all areas. We've got bright sunshine today. Temperatures of 83, and it looks like the sunny pattern not going anywhere anytime soon. Would have been one of our nicer game days, but one of our warmer ones too. 85 degrees for your high, 76 as we go into the late game. But for runners this morning, the time to get out this weekend will be during the run. You know, get those runs done during the morning. We've got an 8 out of 10 on that runner index, and we're talking about running in the morning and then staying cool in the afternoon. And I think the perfect place will be at the game. All right, so looking wonderful for the Georgia-Florida folks here. As we go into the 7-day forecast, it does look like the sunshine not going anywhere anytime soon. So hopefully you like this weather pattern. High pressure is king. It builds in, and it does look like temperatures stay above average by 5 to 10 degrees. And there you go, low rain chances. Halloween looking just fine.
All right, let's check it out with Katie Jeffries for your traffic.
Thank you so much. We're in the VyStar Credit Union Traffic Center, starting with a live look outside 295 near San Jose. There was a crash in that area, but it's off on the side, so you don't need to worry about it. I-10 eastbound, you're driving. Drive times for I-10 eastbound looks pretty good. Not seeing any issues there. So if you are traveling along 295 going from Blanding, across the Buckman over towards the beaches, you can see it is a little bit slow there as well. So interstates, if you are traveling into Jacksonville, of course that I almost said condensation, congestion is growing out there, but I'm not seeing any major issues other than those normal congestion spots.
So we know a lot of folks are going to be trying to get those last minute tickets. We have a quick heads up for you right now, what you can expect out there. Those tickets So we want to give you a quick help. The Georgia Bulldogs will be on the west side, $71 of those tickets. The Florida Gators on the east side, those tickets are $65. We just want to let you guys know that.
That's the face value.
Yeah.
But you might know a guy who's going to have to charge you a little more, but you might get a better seat for sure. All right, good stuff there. We know about the tickets. We got to go over now to Chef Tony, who's in the house over here. I'm coming with you, Chef, because I know you were just about to crack the egg on the grill this morning. We had steaks, we had sausage. Now we're going to do the egg on the grill.
We're just going to do a little quick sunny side up egg. So
like,
go ahead.
No, I said I like it.
Oh, me too. We just got to make sure the white cooks all the way through is what we're after here. So. And then we'll get it all ready to go.
Okay, so today is Friday,
right?
Of Georgia, Florida. Now we got all these folks here in the RVs. They're prepped, they're ready to go. But other fellas who might be driving in, they're going to do it Saturday morning. Get here. They say 5 hours pregame.
Right.
What should they be doing today to have that tailgate ready and raring to go? They need to come see you at Publix. What are we doing?
Man, you know, New York strips are right there. Beautiful things. Eggs, the ciabatta bread, the sausage, man. If you're gonna, you know, I do it tonight. I buy this 2 for $7 at the store. Certainly. But the biggest thing for today, for tomorrow, have your prep done. Okay. That way, when you come to the stadium, it's just put it on the grill and let it cook. You're not cutting anything. You're not mixing anything. It's boom, grill, serve, eat.
That's the way to go.
You know, you're supposed to be partying at a tailgate, not working hard. Don't be a slave to your own tailgate.
That's what I'm saying. You know, a lot of times you're going to get stressed out over the cook, you know what I mean? And you're going to have Joe Schmo coming up to your grill, trying to touch your spatula and flipping your meat, and then we're going to have big problems. It's beyond the Georgia-Florida fight.
Well, see, that's just it. It's going beyond just a simple rivalry at that point. If you want to cook, go get your own grill.
There you go.
If you're coming to my tailgate, this is how we're going to roll.
This is how it's going to be. Chef, thank you so much. Looking great. We'll check in with this. Take a big bite of a sausage and egg sandwich here in just a minute. Let's go to break. We'll be back in 2 minutes' time. Georgia, Florida at RV City.
A rivalry. 100 years in the making.
So that's Tailgate Response Unit 86.
The annual showdown between the Florida Gators.
It's one of the greatest traditions in college football.
And the Georgia Bulldogs.
It doesn't matter what colors you wear, the ugly red and black or the pretty orange and blue. When we meet up, it's all family when we come down here.
And after getting chomped by the Gators in 2015, the Dogs are looking to bite back. Now, Good Morning Jacksonville takes you inside RV City, ground zero for the most die-hard college football fans on the First Coast.
The game's big and the party's bigger.
It is 6:45 in the morning on the eve of the Georgia-Florida football game. It is so big. This is your power block of news. We've got Keith here beside me, Chris Porter, Katie, Mike Prangley. Let's do this thing. Big day today.
It certainly is. You know, a lot of folks are pretty hyped up and excited about the big Georgia-Florida game tomorrow, but you know what's on a lot of people's mind as well? The Jaguars lost last night. We're going to have to talk about it, aren't we, Chris?
You know, I really thought that because we were playing a game on Thursday night, the outcome might be a little different because we're kind of used to this on Monday mornings, but it did not happen. The Jaguars went up to Nashville, Tennessee, and lost to the Tennessee Titans 36-22. Let me tell you this, the game was not as close as that score depicts. It was pretty much over at halftime as the Titans to the lead in this game 27-0. The Titans running game, it was good as advertised, or was it that the Jaguars players didn't, really get after it? There are a lot of things that we could talk about that went wrong. Let's bring in the Jaguars insider, our own Michael Kay. Mike, our next game, let's look ahead now. We can go on and on about Tennessee. Let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, and in particular, what do the Jags need to do to get off the schneid and get a W?
Well, Chris, the problems that have plagued them throughout the season aren't going away, and neither is Gus Bradley, according to the Florida Times-Union. They need to find a running game. It's plain and simple. You cannot pass in this league if teams don't respect your run, because you're gonna consistently face double coverage like Allen Robinson's seen, and for 3 consecutive games, he's been pretty much out of the loop.
After the game in Tennessee, we've got back-to-back weeks where this team just looked as if they're not responding to anything that Gus Bradley is saying. When we ask them, hey, does he still have the locker room? The players tell us yes, but why isn't that not translating on the field?
It just seems to be a disconnect between these two areas of the team. Coaching has one thought process, the players have other. You saw it with Jalen Ramsey basically contradicting Gus Bradley 15 minutes after a Monday press conference. And then you have Shad Khan coming in and asking what's going on. When the owner's noticing that you have a disconnect, that's a problem.
It appears that Gus Bradley's job is safe for now. But at what point, if this team does not get it turned around, that you believe Bradley may get the axe, or do you think he'll get the axe before the season comes to a close, even if they don't get things to going?
A midseason coaching fire doesn't seem up Shad Khan's alley. It hasn't been even up Gus Bradley's alley. He waited forever to fire Bob Babich last year when he probably should have taken away his coaching responsibilities after the Bucs blowout game in I think it was week 5. So I think he's probably going to face the consequences of his team's actions towards the end of the season, maybe week 14 at the latest if you like an internal candidate, but I doubt it's going to happen anytime soon.
Michael K. always on top of all of our Jaguar stuff. We'll just have to watch and see. Thank you so much, my friend. And listen, guys, the schedule's not getting any easier for the Jaguars. They have KC next. You got the likes of Denver and Minnesota. So it's going to be a long road to hope.
You don't sound very hopeful, Chris.
You know, after last night's game, I've lost a lot of hope.
My thing is, I think Gus is sticking around. I think owner Shad Khan says, hey, listen, if I've got to watch these next 9 games, you're sitting right here and watching them.
Good point, Lou. Good point.
You're going to watch every little bit of it, and then we'll make some adjustments into the season. All right, weather, traffic, Mike's holding a big plate of protein in there.
Delicious.
I've got some hope. Not just
That's right.
the sunny side up, but look at the sunny side up, eggs and prime rib. Doesn't get any better than this, and that's just like our weather forecast. It's going to be just right for the game. Temperatures in the mid-80s, and for tailgating, that's right. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. And I like my prime rib a little bit better done, but I'd eat this. I mean, this smells incredible. I hope you get a chance.
Hold
to
the plate
taste
up,
this
Mike.
kind. Here we go. See that? Okay.
How's that forecast, though?
Forecast
How about that?
is looking wonderful. Temperatures in the 80s to start, mid-70s by the 4th quarter. No rain to worry about, and that goes for the entire weekend. So we got some big runs out there. The Evergreen 5K run going on. That'll be Sunday morning. 7-day forecast, of course, Halloween for all the kids. Plenty warm as well. So these are near record high temperatures. Looks like our warmest Georgia-Florida game since 2009. Next chance of rain, probably not until at least later next week. So no rain till November. Get out and enjoy the good tailgating weather and all the sunshine. Katie, how's it looking now in the ViStar Credit Union Traffic Center? Some hope out there?
Well, if you are driving from Callahan, I don't have some good news. US 1 at Pine Breeze is closed. There was a bad crash in that area. We're hearing possible fatality. So US 1 at Pine Breeze, that is closed. Now, if you're trying to come to the game tomorrow, let's walk you through what it's going to be like for your Georgia-Florida traffic. At 9 a.m. here, first of all the bridges are going to be open. Then at 9 a.m., you're going to have all the lanes along Bay Street that are going to make the switch. That's going to be coming towards downtown. So make sure you get here about 5 hours before the game. Now, as you can see there, I-10 pretty slow at the moment. Also, 295 is starting to build as well. I'm going to keep tweeting your traffic after the show as well, but give yourself plenty of extra time if you're coming down here for Georgia, Florida.
We know you'll be checking it out for sure. All right, let's go inside to Lindsay Boach.
All right, thank you very much.
Remain seated, remain seated.
Scary moments for Republican vice presidential candidate Mike Pence last night as his campaign plane skidded off the runway at New York's LaGuardia Airport. Nobody got hurt, but emergency crews rushed to the scene, helping 30 passengers off the plane. The media on board say that Pence checked the cabin to make sure everyone was safe. All right, back at home, if you're looking for something fun to do this Friday night, maybe this weekend, football's not your thing, grab your friends, head over to Top Golf. Its brand new Jacksonville location opened up a day early yesterday, marking the company's 2nd location in the state. All ages and skill levels are welcome to play. It's a ton of fun. You can find its hours and location on our website, firstcoastnews.com. Now, a famous face in the campaign trail is going to be at the big Georgia-Florida showdown this weekend. Donald Trump Jr. will be in Jacksonville attending the GOP tailgating event. Starts at 11:30 in the morning on Saturday near the Adams Street Fan Experience sidewalk area. But of course, the big story in the River City today and all weekend is the highly anticipated Georgia-Florida game And as you've been seeing all morning long, our team is in RV City this morning with the latest on what fans need to know. Lou.
All right, hey Lindsay, thanks so much. Big time. I'm already seeing bodies start to move. People are kind of starting to open their eyes a little bit after what I'm sure was a very big night last night. We got a lot of big things happening.
Right.
Avett Brothers Band tonight as well, 8 o'clock over at the Veterans Memorial Arena, and R&B singer Anthony Hamilton going to be at the Times Union Center as well. So other things all around the big events happening for Georgia, Florida. So you see that there.
And we do want to let folks know that the tickets are sold out. They're official vendors, but there's always a way, right? Through secondary markets, you can get tickets. If you're going to be on the west side, or if you're a Bulldogs fan, those tickets are $71. On the east side, that's where you can get tickets for the Gators. Those are $65, so they're still available. Chris, you're steering quite intently. Did you hear what I said? The Gators, those fans, tickets $65. Come on out, Gators fans.
And don't forget, we got a big primetime special coming up tonight, 7 o'clock on ABC 25, the First Coast Sports Team. We got our Georgia analysts in the house, our Florida analysts in the house, the keys to the victory. We're talking to some former players to tell us what it's like playing in this intense rivalry. Plus, we got a house divided. We got a whole lot of good stuff first for you coming up tonight at 7 o'clock on ABC 25, so you might want to tune in.
We've got New York strip steak sandwiches. The chef was over there just cooking up. Looked like a nice medium rare. Mike Prangley, I know we're ready for that. Also, it's a tradition unlike any other that you're going to find south of Augusta. A great golf tournament they play up in Jekyll Island. The Georgia-Florida Golf Classic, which I know a lot of dudes are up there ready and raring to go for that this morning for the second day of play there. Mike, how are we doing weather-wise with that?
Perfect golf weather. Tee it up. We're talking about plenty of sunshine. Temperatures low 80s today, and we'll keep it in the low to mid 80s for the game. So it doesn't get much better than that. Don't forget the sunscreen, and you're all set. We'll keep it sunny.
So looking outside, 295 near San Jose, you can see some slowdowns definitely in the camera. We had a crash, but they said it was off towards the side. But heavy congestion there, heavy congestion on I-10 eastbound. Also US 1 in Callahan, so US 1 at Pine Breeze. Unfortunately, we're hearing that it's closed because there was a severe crash in that area, possible fatality involved, so you're gonna have to find an alternate route coming out of Callahan.
All right, Chris, you're talking about a house divided. We're a team divided right now because Katie and I are all Gators, and on the outside we've got Dogs fans. And Lou is just the referee. I don't know.
Leave me out of it. I'm all Gamecock. 100% Gamecock.
Thanks for joining us, Chris.
Thank you for being with us here in RV City. What a week it has been. This is why we love calling this place home.